Hey everyone out there in the land of YouTube, this is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network, and today is Friday, TGIF. It's August 12th, 2022, and we are still kind of riding the wave of the full moon and the sign of Aquarius. It was a super moon. We have lots of those, and it was very, very intense. I was looking at it last night going, whoa, it feels like everything's gonna be, changing. That is, that's apropos for Aquarius. It's about changing times. Lost in the shuffle today was the news that the House passed the Inflation Reduction Act bill, which is really a huge deal. It's very intriguing that we have on the one side this beautiful, amazing hope for the future generations, hope for the planet, hope for job creation and, endless possibilities with chips being produced here, semiconductor chips, and just so much good stuff in that bill. Transportation, just like everything. Anyway, and I just imagine what all this would be like if it weren't for the encroaching and ever-present, since Donald Trump, evil and threats of violence that we're all facing. So when we are challenged, we have to kind of, up our game and get real good at standing for light and goodness and humanity and, equal rights and positive change. So, thanks to all of you who showed up in my live the other night. It's always really fun to do a live. It takes more time and it takes more energy and attention, and it's really fun to do. I just don't have time to do that tonight. Part of the reason being that I'm playing a gig tomorrow night, and it was kind of off the cuff and spontaneous, so I kind of have to practice. It's one of those things. It's been a little while since I played a gig, so it'll be fun. I'll see if I can get some videos. We'll see. We're going to take a look at the cards. We're going to see what's going on with Donald J. Trump. I want to say what I'm getting, but I know that I'm on YouTube. So let's just say that he knew exactly what he was doing. In no uncertain terms, Donald J. Trump knew exactly what he was up to the whole time. None of this, I took my mistake. Did I take the documents? I didn't know I took the documents. We knew he took the documents to Mar-a-Lago. We all knew this. And he was subpoenaed, and he just kept saying no because he thinks he's the king and that he's above the law and that poo-poo on everybody else, he gets to do whatever he damn well pleases. That's Donald J. Trump. That's his profile. Oh, it goes deeper than that and more darker than that. But in a nutshell, he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. When he first said that, we were like, how could he say that? And now it's so totally believable. If you think about, maybe 8 years ago, you would have never believed that we would be at the place that we are in our country right now. You would have never believed that we would be facing these threats of violence against the FBI. I mean, think about when Barack Obama was in office, which, by the way, Donald Trump had the audacity to pull Barack Obama into this whole, because I guess he just doesn't know what to say. Well, when Obama was in office, he had all these documents, and no president has ever disobeyed the law like Trump, and that includes Nixon. Let's just see how he's feeling. Angry. I always get angry. He's very angry. It's kind of redundant to see how he's feeling because it's always angry. this is how he's feeling right now. Whoops, I don't read cards upside down. He's feeling, he kind of is losing friends. I think Fox doesn't even want him anymore. So he's distraught for sure. There's so much evidence against him. Merrick Garland, man, he really, I don't think that Donald Trump could, I don't feel like he has the IQ. He doesn't have the intelligence to think strategically. He does, I just want to say, in one area he does have the ability to think strategically, and it is in how to swindle people. He's very good at that. He's a genius at how to con and manipulate people. But when it comes to thinking, well, if I say this, they could say that kind of thing, he doesn't have that. I don't know if there's a word for that or a phrase for that. But I do see, yeah, the DOJ is building a strong case. Actually, they already have a strong case. And the January 6th committee has a strong case. And what we want to look at is, Merrick Garland is just, he's not fazed, but he is very, very, very upset. Merrick Garland is very upset about one thing for sure, and that's that the FBI agents are in danger. That's what we thought we'd never see in this country. So, and Fox, gosh, I keep having visions of Fox, I don't call it Fox News, I keep having visions of Fox propaganda boarded up, and I can't figure out if it's my wish or a psychic prediction. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. All right, is Fox being boarded up? Is that a psychic impression? It's a psychic impression. It seems like there would be a law against holding up a picture of the judge who signed off on the search warrant to search Mar-a-Lago. But somebody at Fox held up his picture and said his name. And I didn't get into the news too much today to find out what that judge's name is that signed the search warrant. But my God, that's an enemy. That's a domestic enemy. Fox is a domestic enemy. And they need to be called out for that, because, judges have been murdered pretty recently in cold blood. And now they're actually asking for that. And, what was going on Fox on Monday or Tuesday or whenever the news came out. Yeah, it was Monday. Because I did a video on Monday, and it was right after that happened, where the news came out. It just seems like they were just going on and on and on Fox about how, this is not legal, and that it was political, and, if Donald J. Trump had any sense, he would have not just splattered the news all over his whatever Truth Social or whatever. I'm so glad he's not on Twitter or Facebook. But he could have kept quiet about it. But the man doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut. It's remarkable, I tell you. So I'm gonna look at Fox, because I'm thinking that that's to encourage violence on our Homeland Security, basically, our Secret Service and, the good guys, the ones that are good. Seems like it, justice. It seems like it should be illegal. Why am I holding my cards upside down? It seems like it should be illegal. It seems like there's going to be a lawsuit, yet another lawsuit against Fox. Now, is that going to come from Merrick Garland? Is that going to come from Merrick Garland? I'm getting yes. I think that Merrick Garland is really, he's going to do something about that. He's going to do something about this channel inciting violence. Crazy. Oh, by the way, I checked last night. I used the pendulum to see if Donald Trump was going to go ahead and release the warrant. And I got no. Now I'm not clear. I have to find out if the DOJ went ahead and did it. Because it was like, you know, either you do it, Donald, or, you know, Merrick Garland was going to sign off on the warrant, the search warrant being made public. So, I see I see Fox struggling with this. So keep an eye out for, you know, and contact Fox, contact them, contact their advertisers. We do that at Grassroots of Democracy. It's not okay what they're doing, to be inciting violence on public servants. It's not okay what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time. Nine of Pentacles, yeah. They're going to have to pay. Fox is going to have to pay for what they're doing. It's not good. I tell you, it's not good. All right, one thing that is good is it's cooled down in New England quite a bit, like at least 20 degrees. So it's much easier to work, that's for sure. And I hope that you're cool where you are, and if you're in the southern hemisphere, I hope you're warm. Wednesday night, sadly, somebody asked about Anne Hesh. I don't know if that's is it Hesh? Anne Hesh, who she was on some kind of drugs and she plowed her car into a house. I don't know if it was her house, but the people were asking about what was going to happen to her, and I didn't think that she was going to make it. And just moments ago, sadly, I read that she had died. So we lost her, great actress. We lost Olivia Newton-John this week too. Live life fully. Just you know, carpe diem. Grab life by the horns. Do what you came here to do. Honestly, Olivia Newton-John passing made me feel like I need to sing more. And I'm just saying that because maybe, you know, when these people pass, maybe it's like, maybe it motivates you somehow to, you know, they're gone now, so maybe I need to do that. So you know, sad that that Anne passed. I just want to say that it would have been horrible. We don't want people to die. However, with that amount of physical damage, you wouldn't want to live like that. You don't want to live like a vegetable. So it's so sad. I do feel like she's at peace on the other side. But you know, when people cross, they're not available to read on for a while in general. So shall we take a look at, well, I mentioned Olivia Newton-John. Let's see if we pull some cards and see just what the energy around her passing. She built something amazing. She really built something amazing. Olivia Newton-John did. She was the Queen of Cups. She was kind of the Queen of Pop in a way. And the Prince of Cups, somebody's going to try to take credit for what she had done, but that's not going to go very far. So Olivia Newton-John, thank you for your singing and your beauty and your inspiration. Be a beautiful person. I'm just saying that because we see so many horrible people in the public light nowadays. There are good people too, and we really need to have them highlighted. We do. I mean, it's a little disconcerting that once again, Donald Trump, appropriately named Trump, trumped all the good news. And he always does. I always think about the inauguration, like Joe Biden got elected and everybody was dancing in the streets and they were so happy. And even after January 6th, you know, and everything, I mean, like Joe Biden got elected, he couldn't even enjoy his win because Trump was just getting there, you know, saying, oh, election fraud, election fraud. Trump has ruined it for everybody. And then this week with the good news coming out about the Inflation Reduction Act and what are we hearing about? The Mar-a-Lago and the violence and the guy that went to the FBI in Cincinnati and started shooting them up with a nail gun. What? We don't want that to be the news. Let's take a look. Let's take 3 cards about the Democrats right now. And if you want to think about the positive, And I like to repeat this because it's easy to lose perspective. If you want to think the positive, think about if January 6th had worked, we wouldn't have a DOJ to be feeling impatient about. You know, we wouldn't have the frustration of justice not being served yet, because we wouldn't have any justice happening in any way, manner, shape, or form whatsoever, because we would be a fascist, a country that was ruled by a fascist. So let's be happy and grateful that even though it's taken a long time, and even though the people who want to stand for our election wasn't stolen, it was free and fair and safe and very much protected, you know, even though they're having to put up with so much, like Liz Cheney. I just read that Liz Cheney can't even campaign because of all the death threats. And that's bad. It's very bad. It's very bad. It's just that if you want to just keep things in perspective, it could be worse. Because we could be an autocracy right now. But we're not. So let's take a look at, let's pull a few cards about democracy. Is democracy going to get stronger? It's going to get stronger. I mean, what we need to have happen is Fox has to get shut down somehow. And these other news outlets that are just spewing propaganda and hatred need to be shut down. And we have to get more people that are connecting with one another. We definitely need that. So this is what I'm asking about is the Democrats. Are the Democrats going to do better? We're facing evil. The Democrats, our democracy is facing down evil. I talked about this last night at our Grassroots of Democracy meeting, and there it is. This is what we're facing down. This is about surrendering to the higher power. That doesn't mean don't take action. It means believe and have faith that the light, you know, I hear it from the etheric. The light is now winning. It will outdo this. Do not despair. It's scary. I was scared yesterday hearing all those threats against the FBI, against our Homeland Security, and even, you know, add to that that Donald Trump gave our secrets away. If you want to know what he was doing with all those documents, people are actually asking that question. What do you think he was doing with those documents? Why do you think he took those documents? Because it's all about how much money he can make. Always was since the day he came out of the womb. Always will be for as long as he's on this earthly plane. It's all about how can I get the money. And the irony is he doesn't have any money. So he took those documents because for entertainment purposes only. He was working for Putin and the Saudis, and that's all I'm going to say. This is for entertainment. It's based on my impressions. Today I heard it in my mind. He's a Russian spy. Pray for the people that think he needs to be president. Also pray that he's removed from any proximity to the presidency. It's frightening. Remember in 2018 when he stood up there and he said, well, you know, it was a Coates told him that Russia interfered in the election. Well, I don't see why it would have been Russia. Putin was standing right there. If you could read energy, you didn't even have to be an energy reader. You could see Putin was smirking. It was like, I can't believe I'm winning to this guy. That was a line in one of the debates. To the United States, I mean, because it's easy to outwit Donald J. Trump, like Merrick Garland just did this week. But Putin, in Helsinki, and then he threw him a soccer ball. I was wondering if it was tapped. And that was the trip in Helsinki where Trump, and this happened several times, where he wouldn't allow a translator to take notes. They wouldn't allow anyone in the meeting. And then Trump had those, the Russian spies at the White House. I mean, I've always known, because the guides gave it to me, that Donald Trump happened for the reason that we need to strengthen our democracy. We need to safeguard our democracy. We cannot trust the presidency to an out-and-out criminal who can manipulate people's minds like Hitler did. We cannot trust our democracy to that. We have to have safeguards. So anyway, so this is about the Democrats and our democracy. And we're up against the devil. We're up against satanic forces. It is our coming together as a collective in the light and believing in humanity and being humanitarians that will outdo this, because it always does. Love always wins. We have to be persistent with it. We have to be insistent with it. We have to not let down our guard and start to worry. I'm not saying to worry, absolutely not. I'm just saying it's not like, if it's not bad to feel alarm. It's not bad to be shocked and very highly concerned. We're human beings, for God's sake. And he sold our secrets. He sold our security secrets. It's my opinion. It's my psychic facts. And I dropped this card. Hang on. I dropped the devil, so that's a good thing. Be done! Be gone! Get thee behind me! Let's move on. Anyway, so actually I got, the Nine of Cups. Was that the Nine of Cups? No. I have the Nine of Cups on my brain, which is abundance, which is good. It's the Ten of Pentacles, which is about all the good things that the Democrats are doing, and how I kind of get the sense that 10, there are 10 things in the bill that are really going to be just amazing. Just the Democrats. Sometimes when you're under pressure, it makes you more focused. So the Democrats are going to knock it out of the park, as we say here. Knock it out of the park. Pass the green monster. I hope you had a good week despite all the chaos. I told you the other night. It's true to form. The Aquarius full moon. I could feel it days before. You probably could too. The Aquarius full moon really, packed a punch. And I was thinking about that yesterday. I was thinking about how I was saying you just gotta hang on. It's like a rocky boat ride, and you just gotta find your center and figure out ways to calm down. I do feel we're gonna have some scary things happen. And when scary things happen, we have to bond together and be safe together, feel safe and protected. So, and come to Grassroots of Democracy. We meet twice a week. And we have over 500 people on our mailing list, and a fraction of that comes to our meetings. I'm not sure what people are afraid of. I love that the people that come do come, but if you want to know more, feel free to email me, or my personal email is annettedion7@gmail.com. If you want to know more about Grassroots, if you're afraid for some reason to save democracy, we don't want you to be afraid. So please, sign up. If you want to get the Zoom invites, I always tell you, it's grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com to get the Zoom invites. And just type AYE in the subject line. And tomorrow our meeting, during our Saturday meetings, we get to work together. So let's take a look at, the only thing that's been in the news is Trump, pretty much. Let's take a look at Merrick Garland and how he's feeling. I get that he's confident. Let's see. Yeah, see, this is a card too. Yeah, Merrick Garland knows that he's playing with a fool. I mean, I really, let me tell you something. I think Merrick Garland is psychic. I do. Of course, he would never say that. He's much too buttoned up to say something like that. He's much too much of a scholar. But you know what? Even Albert Einstein believed in metaphysics. There go the beer bottles. Makes me thirsty. So this is Merrick Garland, and I just got this card before that represents him feeling confident. I feel like it's like one little detail after another little detail after another little detail. Nothing. I mean, he goes through things like with a fine-tooth comb, Merrick Garland. He doesn't miss anything. And he's a Scorpio, and Scorpios don't miss much. The smart, if you know a smart Scorpio, good luck winning an argument. So yeah, 4 of Wands. He's just balancing things. He's just keeping it all in balance. I feel a lot more activity on the Mar-a-Lago search. The result of that, I feel a lot more activity next month. Gosh, I almost said September as if it was far away. In September, it's not that far away. And plus the January 6th commission. I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm going to take a look. I'm not really sure what all these Republicans, of which 207 voted against the Inflation Reduction Act just this afternoon, just a little while ago. 220 Democrats voted yay, and 207 Republicans voted no. They do not want this country to succeed. They might as well have just said it. I'm sorry, I'm yelling and stuff. I get very passionate. So, and then, they have egg on their face because they were just like, wham, 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 making up all this stuff about, the search not being legit and not being legal and a political witch hunt. And I hate when they use the word witch hunt. I hate those 2 words. How many times has Trump said witch hunt, witch hunt, witch hunt? Is everything a witch hunt? Maybe he's a bad witch. You ever think of that? Yeah. Yeah, they're hunting for the evil. I don't like when people use the word witch with negative connotations, but I know what he means. Republicans, what's going to happen to them? Because we have the January 6th committee with all these Republicans standing up that worked around Trump, telling us what happened. Even if they think that they would vote for him again if he ran, which it just confounds me that they would even say that they would vote for him after what they witnessed working around him in the White House. But anyway, so the Republicans, they're facing all this evidence from the January 6th committee, and I know that a lot of people say, well, none of the Trumpsters are going to watch it, but do not be so absolute. Let's not be so absolute. Remember, when the January 6th hearings were going on, we were talking about that there was such a buzz around it that anybody who's got a little bit of like, oh, I want to know what the crowd is doing, just out of curiosity, if nothing else, they did watch it. So the Republicans have egg all over their face. They didn't want to vote to help the veterans. They don't want to vote to help Americans at all. They were complicit in January 6th, and they're for guns. With all these heinous shootings happening, they're for guns. I mean, I wrap them in white light in my mind to bind them from doing any more evil. Told you guys that the other night. So I'm thinking of the Cruzes and the Hollies and the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Boeberts, and they just need to go. They just need to go away. They need to just get out of our faces. Are we sick of looking at them? There's a lot of anger coming at the Republicans. Quickly, there's going to be some action against the Republicans. This is interesting. And a lot of it is evidence when the January 6th committee starts speaking up again. But even more than that, when people start finding out that Donald J. Trump committed espionage, that's going to be too big to ignore. And I know that people are in cult mind, but it's going to be too big to ignore. Let's see. Is this going to, the Mar-a-Lago search, is it going to lead to Republicans switching sides? Is it going to lead to Republicans switching sides? It's not giving me very much. Maybe that's not a good question. I didn't think that, I mean, I mentioned that earlier. I didn't think that Donald Trump would volunteer to show the search warrant. I'm just saying that because my pendulum said that he wouldn't. And then by 3 o'clock they were made public, and I just don't know who made them public. I'll get back to you on that. I'm sure that you know. Is this Mar-a-Lago search going to impact negatively? Is it going to impact the Republicans negatively? Yes. Yes. Especially the generations that have been around a little while. This is too big. To make our country not safe. Let's be real. That's what's happened. Donald J. Trump, and we knew it all along, those of us who were tuned in. Donald J. Trump has put the United States of America at risk from a national security perspective. Plus we're facing all this domestic extremist terrorism. We're gonna look at 3 cards to see how we will fare. Well, let's do this. Let's first look at how the Republicans will fare after more and more is coming out. It's not good. The Republicans, you know, right now, like people like Marco Rubio, definitely, it doesn't matter what state you're in, start sending money to Val Demings. Marco Rubio should be really ashamed of himself. They should all be ashamed of themselves. Also, there's a rally in Arizona that Ron DeSantis and Marjorie Taylor Greene and I think Boebert are going to be giving, like a pro-fascism kind of rally. That's not what they're calling it, but that's what it is. Pro-autocracy. And I received an email from some organization where they're doing one of those things. Remember when Trump had a rally prior to the election and all these kids on, was it TikTok? I think it was. They all bought seats, they all bought tickets, and then they thought like 1 million people were going to show up or something crazy, and because there were like 6,000. Yeah. So the Republicans are going to start sweating. They're really going to start sweating. I mean, they can't really just stare this down for too much longer. Stare down all the lies and all the crimes for too much longer. This is the Democrats rising, like, leaping over them. And once again, the Ten of Pentacles. There's lots of good coming. We just have to kind of hold down the fort, right? So, all right, I'm not going to keep you too long tonight because I have to go practice, among other things. And I don't want to make it too long because I want your subscriptions, and I don't want you to not subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I don't want you to not subscribe because my video is too long. I don't know. I could use some more subscribers, and hit the thumbs up and all that. I do not monetize my channel, but I do ask you, if you'd like to book a reading, to send an email to annettedionpsychic@gmail.com. That's annettedionpsychic@gmail.com. Let's take a look at, let's do kind of a collective card, 3 cards for the weekend, and then I'll revisit with you on Monday. And please, if you can watch Church of Spirituality, it can only benefit you. It cannot hurt you. It amazes me how many people are afraid to watch something that's called church. So what? It's just a word. No, it's really good. Okay, let's take a look at 3 cards for the weekend. Well, I'm getting, lots of really, fast-moving news. I think this has to do with Biden signing that bill. And the Democrats are sitting pretty this weekend. So let's enjoy that. Let's enjoy it. It's worth enjoying. Yeah, because of this fast-moving legal. I know it's slow-moving, but fast-moving in quantity. Lots of news coming in fast. In the next week, I feel some major weather events. I feel a lot of flooding coming, so be careful. Learn what to do in a flood, because not everyone knows. I know there are some things, if you're on the Weather Channel, they will tell you what to do under certain circumstances, and just be aware, what you need for hurricane, what you need for flooding, and that kind of thing. And nowadays, it's a little bit disturbing, but if you watch TV and you see commercials, now they're having commercials about how to it's like home insurance and how to clean out your house after a flood. And so there are companies capitalizing on natural disasters, which is pretty pathetic. But if you have a natural disaster where you are, you're gonna have to have those services, right? I just don't think they should highlight it. We're gonna pick 3 more cards about Joe Biden. Biden's doing good. He's looking kind of like he's feeling pretty good. He's not a show guy. He's not a showy guy, but he's a smart guy. So let's give him some credit. It's amazing what he's done. Oh, he's up against the Fool. Donald Trump is he's gonna keep going at it. He's gonna keep bashing Biden. And Joe Biden he's really upset at the foolishness, at the dangerous, foolish talk. And he's very emotional about it. But the 3 of Wands is like Biden is going to come into a time where things feel like he's going to be able to cruise a little bit. Riding with Biden, remember that? Made me think of that. So that's what I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. annettedionpsychic@gmail.com is my email address if you'd like to book a reading. That goes right to my assistant, and he will book you a reading. And what else? Grassroots of Democracy @gmail.com. Type AYE in the subject line. Please come if you signed up and you haven't been. It's not too late. You're not going to be in trouble for not showing up before. And 20 on Tuesdays, we have a meditation group, annettedion7@gmail.com, if you'd like to join us for our 20-minute meditation every Tuesday, where we visualize the America that we want to see. It's all good. Just keep shining your light, all right? Love you all. Namaste. See you soon.